what we try to do as marketers is figure who that person is and follow them wherever they are. When we're looking at ways to buy inventory on streaming platforms, probably the most obvious is going to be, hey, I want to be on Hulu or I want to be on YouTube TV. We can do that. That's going to be a platform direct buy, which is going to be that middle one there. Programmatic is where I spend a lot of time, and that is, again, targeting that individual. So whether it's activating your CRM, your customer database, and targeting those individuals, or it's targeting very unique segments of the population and serving certain creatives and messaging based on that target audience, that's going to fall under more of that programmatic vibe. And then rather than buying, Hulu or YouTube TV, we're saying, hey, I don't care what they're consuming, we want to reach that individual regardless of what they're consuming on. And then publisher direct is going to be probably the least common, but we do have some sports arrangements with different publishers like Fubo where we can buy league-specific inventory, things like that, if you just want to buy local, sports viewership, which is a huge area of growth. Typically that's going to come at more of a premium cost, and it's not going to be as targeted. So for most of my clients, we recommend the programmatic route, which is going to be, we're going to deliver these messages to the right audiences, we're going to measure results, and that's how we're going to hold the campaign accountable, rather than, hey, we know we served this many impressions on Hulu, and we don't really know how to measure it, if that makes sense. That popped up. All this technology, you put the do not disturb on your phone, and it still pops up. It's not quite connected. There's a lot of acronyms in this industry. So as you can see here, I won't even get into all of these, but the biggest differences are going to be, is it ad supported or is it not ad supported? Now when streaming television was a big, kind of a new thing, right? It was mostly premium. Netflix was a pioneer, right? But now you look at Prime, and they've got you don't have to pay for a subscription to stream Prime now. So a lot more of a shift toward ad-supported content. And something I want to spend a little bit of time on is this free ad-supported streaming television, or PASS. And you guys may have seen these platforms before, but if we look at some of the fastest growing platforms, Tubi and Pluto, if you guys have seen those, a lot of fun. You can go on there and look for different shows, older shows that have been on, current content. There's just a ton of content. It's all ad-supported, and they make it very easy to consume. So there's a huge growth in this space here. And we're going to continue to